Hi everybody. Let's have a massive shootout between the Beoplay H4 Gen 2s, the E8s Gen 3, then we have the H9s, which are the third generation because they dropped the I, and these absolute star of the show, the killers, the best headphones B&O's ever made, and quite possibly the best portable ones. Let's get into it. So let's unbox the star of the show. This is the box it comes in with it's almost holographic, but it isn't, if you get what I mean. You see it better in certain lights. I'm trying to show it. See, there we go. It's really nice. I must say, I had a sneak peek. Comes off. Nice box. It smells so good. It's bizarre to say, but that headphones smell good. But if I would have to say anything, it smells like BMW Napa leather in a brand new car. It's really, really nice. You get a microfiber cloth. You get a little manual, and then let's get to the actual star of the show. It's a really nice case. It's hard. It's good for travel. It'll survive just about anything. And there we have them. It's all metal. It's so sturdy. It's so nice. The operation is firm but smooth. It's exactly spot on. The headband is very, very comfortable. And these are the ear cups. You can tell the H95s by the oval ear cups. These are the H9s. You can sort of see the difference. Like, this is nice leather. Oh, it smells so good. This is nice leather. This doesn't smell like anything in particular other than new, but this, the H95s, dear Lord, do they smell nice. But these ear cups on the H9s, they seal decently, but like this leather is on another level. And the ear cup comes off. The driver is angled more towards your ear when you wear them, so they're like in the perfect position. You have dials on the side, button for Siri, Google, whatever is on your phone, and you can see the mics down here, volume button, and this dial does the adaptive ANC. Very big difference. Adaptive ANC versus normal ANC versus none. And then obviously you have a little pouch here with a thank you letter. Well, letter. It's a little bit, but it's nice. And you have a charging cable, a flight cable, and a very nice leather wrapped braided 3.5mm jack. Yeah, this is quite stellar. This is really on another level. If you think you get all this versus just a box, really. I mean, yeah, it's not the same. It's in a different league. But let's get on with it. Hi everyone, this is a mic test with the Beoplay H95s. I attached them to my iPad. I'm Skyping myself and OBS is recording it. I'll do these for the H9s, the E8s, and the H4 Gen 2s as well. So mic test 1, 2, 3. See if you hear any difference. On to the next one. And this is the microphone on the Beoplay H9s. Again, through Skype to myself, OBS is recording. Mic test 1, 2, 3. Do you hear a difference? I honestly don't know because I haven't checked this yet. onto the H4 Gen 2s, and we're back with the H4 Gen 2s. These are here. I have no idea if they sound any worse or any different. Again, Skype to myself, to OBS, mic test 1, 2. See if they sound any different. What do you guys think? Let's get on to the E8s.
And these are the E8s. Let's see if you hear any difference. I honestly don't know. Again, I'm Skyping myself to myself, recording through OBS. These are the E8s, they're in my ears, and see what you think of the mic. This is more or less what it will sound like for all of these to the other side.
For all you people, I kept something. You see, the plastic is still on, so let's give a little peel. Get off my finger. And the other one. Peel. Doesn't work this way. Yay! So these are the Beoplay E8s Come On Focus in their charging case. These are actually really, really nice. You can buy them all at, I'll probably put it over here, Bang Olufsen Ter Horst in Utrecht. You can also buy the H9s there, obviously. And especially if you're in the market for some really high-end headphones, get yourself some H95s there. But also, I've been using these for probably the longest, some H4 Gen 2s. All excellent. We'll get to a bit of the differences, and this is kind of a massive headphone shootout. And it gets a bit weird, because I've been using these, all of them now, for quite a long time. And let's start off with basically what is the showstopper. The new H95s by Bang & Olufsen. They're spectacular. The materials, the leather is so smooth. It smells so good. If you like nice, high quality, premium stuff, this comes with everything, including the smell. It's insane. I mean, the everything is metal that needs to be metal. It's a very comfy headband. The ear cushions are just about perfect. I mean, even for my giant head, it just fits. It's glasses, not an issue. They work in every way. They are by far, out of all of these, the most comfortable headphones in the whole group, and I love them for it. I mean, highly recommend. These have new 40mm titanium drivers, and I must say, the sound is excellent. It's if you're familiar with Bang & Olufsen, it's almost as clinical as Beolab ones, but not exactly. It's just slightly toned down where it doesn't become ear piercing, but you hear everything. I mean, you can get a better DAC, obviously. Sorry, my cat is going wild in the background. I don't know if you guys can hear it. And attach it via the 3.5mm cable that's provided. You can also get one that sounds heavenly, obviously. But even with adaptive aptX, another adaptive one, these are hi-fi, that sort of thing. They sing, and if you're used to something like Beats by Dre, they almost sound like they're lacking for bass. But if you listen to something like Jamie XX, I'll put some links down below of some tracks I sometimes use, they become stellar. It's like strapping a subwoofer to your head. It's ridiculous. These do that too. Not as good because obviously these are better. These are not bad by any chance, but these are also it's a difference, like a Beolab 2 with the accuracy of a Beolab 19, and these are just like a Beolab 19, so it's give and take a bit. These are bassier from the start, and it's a bit more sloppy, but it's the H4 Gen 2s I'm talking about. They're a bit more passive listening, if that makes any sense. You can listen somewhat critically, but it's not really what they're designed for. These are more on the go, more sort of everyday use, if that makes sense. The H95s, they do just about everything right. I mean, let me congratulate B&O on adaptive ANC. Adaptive ANC. This adaptive ANC is ridiculously good. If nothing is playing and it's on max, I can barely hear my TV until I get to volume 40, and I have BL at 50s. Everything is playing. And that's a testament to the ear cups, but also the adaptive ANC. It gets quite weird because when it's fully on and you walk around, you sort of hear your footsteps through your skeleton again. That's how much it takes everything out. And then initially I thought I was stomping around my apartment, but turns out they just filter out so much you hear things you don't normally hear. If we get to the ANC normal adaptive or normal noise cancelling of the H9s, I don't like this. Like, these are subtle and they take everything out. Like, even if you go like that around your head, you'll barely hear it. With the H9s, they took a sort of a more an old-fashioned approach, as in they kind of nuke your head a bit with, like, get everything away. And to me, maybe I'm sensitive to it and maybe you're not, and then it's okay. But to me, this feels like I'm constantly sort of in the early stages of an airplane when it's taking off and you get that sort of pressure differential. I don't like that. Secondly, if you use ANC on the H9s, and like it's on or off, there's not really an in-between. The noise change, or the sound changes quite a bit, as in the music that plays through. I would say this is somewhat of a guess, but quickly described, it's like -2 treble and +2 on bass. It's quite a significant change in sound, and I prefer these much more in a passive noise cancelling way. With the H95s though, again, they do it better. There's almost no perceivable difference with ANC on or off. That actually makes them the best headphone. Adaptive ANC really is the way of the future, because I don't get that pressure when it's on, when it's off. It's really great. The noise change is so minimal that it's almost not worth like paying attention to it, because it's so slight, but the accuracy sort of lifts up because you can't hear the rest outside the ear cup, so to say, which I really like. Another big feature of all these headphones, except for the H4s, is that they have transparency mode. Like with this, you swipe and you can hear, like there's mics in the outside here too that pipe in the noise from outside, because if you play anything at any sort of volume with noise cancelling on, you're basically deaf, and that lifts it up. With the H9s though, I find, I don't know if it's a limitation or maybe it's just me, but it sounds like you're talking through a microphone. And so, like, you know what you're saying, but you have a slight delay with hearing it back, not like talking normally, and it's sort of discombobulating a bit. The H95s don't have that. Like, the response is instant. It's like talking naturally. Also, the E8s, you tap it once, transparency mode comes on, and it's the same way. The E8s are wonderful for that. And so are these. Like, again, the lowly H4s don't have any of that. They don't do noise cancelling. They don't do transparency mode. Anything because the cushion is so thick, anything over, let's say, volume 35, and in my case, I'm deaf. Like, I have to, like, if my girlfriend starts, I have to literally do that, because otherwise it's not going to work. You almost don't hear that much, in my case anyway. They close off so well that even just wearing them, nothing playing, it's hard to understand people around you, even in a quiet room. And to me, that's actually kind of nice. The biggest difference between the H9s and H4 Gen 2 to me is that there is a comfort difference, and I'm not entirely sure yet what I like wearing for longer. As in, by longer, I mean over 2 hours. Because the H4 Gen 2s, these are they're comfortable, they're very comfortable. But they're sort of held on your ear, in my case anyway, through the ear pads, and they are very squishy. And they provide enough clamping force that it's not annoying, but they also have enough sturdiness. What I do have quite often is that the headband sort of falls, because it's sort of held on your ear by the ears. When you come to the H9s, the ear pads, I don't know if you can tell, are a bit thinner. But they're held on to your head more by the headband, and the headband is a lot softer. It's sort of what you prefer. Do you prefer it being held on by your ear, or do you really prefer more to have it like hang on your head, so to say? It varies to me. If you possibly have, like Eric from our podcast, like gelled hair, you may prefer these over this, because it doesn't move your hair so much. I mean, I don't have a lot of hair, so it doesn't matter so much for me. But these are also supremely comfortable, but in a different way. If you get to the comfort levels of the H95s, like, these do both things perfectly. Like, they have the best of both worlds. The ear cushions are as good as the H4 Gen 2s, and the headband to me is even better than the H9s. So I can wear these for hours on end, and it's all fine. So, clear winner? Yeah. Then, if you come to the comfortability of these, focus, one thing that really matters is the tip. I found the biggest black tip works the best. They're all black, by the way. You don't get a choice. At least I haven't seen one. It works the best in my ears. And when you stick them in your ear, not only does it sort of seal off your ear canal and is sort of passive noise cancelling, but it also, like, holds it in, so, like, it's not going anywhere. And you can't do that with any of the others, because, well, maybe the H95s, but they're quite pricey to drop accidentally. So I actually really started taking a liking to these E8s. They've actually become basically my daily driver. And I wasn't expecting that, because I'm not much of an in-ear headphone type of person. I prefer the over-the-ear. But these are supremely comfortable, and there is a limitation to how much I can wear them, but basically the battery's dead before that happens. And then you put them in back in the case to charge, and by the time they're charged, you've given your ears a rest, and you can continue. So, E8's portability, they don't cancel noise, but the pass-through is fantastic. If you have moderate volumes, you don't hear the rest of the world, and they're fantastic. These are actually, for the price, my favorite. My daily drivers that I've been using since, I don't know, over a year now, are these H4 Gen 2s versus the Gen 1s, like the cable's now inside, everything is a bit better. The cushions are extremely soft and very, very comfortable. I use this usually for podcast nights, and I can wear these for a long time. But what I really love is I can use them passively, because the controls are here on the back. I don't know how the light hits it, but the controls are, I can manage sort of with the volume up and down, but like swiping, you don't even swipe, like nothing is touch, and everything else is. It's a bit clunky, so I use them with a 3.5mm jack, and I love that you can use them passively, because that way you never run out of battery because you don't use it. Like I charge these once every 3 months, and I use them almost daily. No, I use them daily. Correction, I use them daily. If you come to the H95s, the only thing I would knock them for really is that if you use the 3.5mm jack, out of all of these are the only ones you can't use passive. So they have to be switched on. But like this is touch sensitive, so track forward, track backwards, tap is pause, tap again is play, and that all works fantastic really. Also the volume dial, as in that, is fantastic. Same for the adaptive noise cancelling and or transparency mode. That is so easy, because you just put your finger against the back of the cup and do that, and if Bob's your uncle, it works freaking fab. I mean, I love these. These are by far though the most expensive, as in these are €800, if I'm not mistaken. For reference, if I'm mistaken and you want to be sure I'm not saying anything wrong, go to Bang Olufsen Ter Horst. He's here in Utrecht, and he'll provide you with a pair wherever you are in the world. Top guy, top service, and he provided these and the H9s for review. The other two are my own. Out of all of them, weirdly, I know it may be offensive to some people, I like the H9s actually the least, because the noise cancelling is so over the top. It works, but I'm sensitive to it, so I would never use it. In terms of sound, these versus my H4s, which, like, this is €500, this is €300. I'd much rather have the H4s, because they suit my needs. The cushions sew off so well, equally to these. And if I'm not going to use the ANC anyway, then why go for it? However, my new absolute favorite for like serious listening is the H95s. They're just so gorgeous. And I must really say, I agree with John from Bang Olufsen in Manchester. They are like strapping Beolab 90s to your head. They're so accurate. They're fabulous in every which way. If you have a dealer near you and you're allowed to go and have a test. These are freaking fab. Actually, I think B&O, when they first sort of thought about pricing, they were going to do around €1,000. And even that, I think, is almost worth it. We had a whole discussion on our podcast about these versus H9s. And the thing is, these are €500, these are 800. Is it worth the difference? In my opinion, yes, very much so. The only thing that's kind of different is, do you want to pay it? That's totally up to you. None of these are bad, but I would almost suggest get the H4 Gen 2s, because they're surprisingly good for the money. But if you want something truly, truly spectacular, go for the H95s. They will surprise you every day. I love wearing these. I love listening to these. Everything is so bloody accurate. It's insane. However, if you're more for on the go, because I would be slightly like, I can. Ooh, I felt it move a bit. They're just nice that it's comfortable, but like the headbanging I did earlier with these, I wouldn't recommend with that, because if these drop, like these are 300 euros, this is 800. Are you want to risk this? I'd rather risk these. But the surprising thing to me after like a big review like this is that the E8 Gen 3 are fantastic. You take them out the box, they're instantly connected to my phone and or my iPad. By the time they're in my ear, you hear bloop bloop in both ears, and they're connected, and you can just play and go. I mean, they're reconnected within under 20 seconds, which is fantastic. With these, maybe it's how I do it, but I generally put like the Bluetooth headphones on my head on first, and then flick the switch on the back, which in this case is that one. And it just it probably does it in the same time, but it's perceived as taking a bit longer. The H95s are the one against the world. These rule everything. If you're not into headphones, these will surprise you. I mean, I can't say enough good things about them. I love these. This is something for 95th anniversary. B&O knocked it out the park, and I wish I'd do it for many, many more years, hopefully another 100, or 95 for that matter. And go buy these if you can. If you're on a more limited budget, these are great, but if you want to be more active, get the E8s 3.0 or the E8 Sport. They're both great. I especially like these because the case is better than the Sport version, and this actually still fits in your pocket. If you're worried about Bluetooth spec, like these are Bluetooth 5.1 adaptive X. Bleh, I hate all these SBX, all the good stuff. You can go on the website bangolufsen.com and you can find all the specs. I think these are Bluetooth 4.2, these are 5.1, and if you're worried about range, I can walk my entire apartment, including walls and everything, and these keep on working if I leave my phone right here. I can walk to the other side, and it's all fine with all of them. So, Bluetooth only really matters, I think, for the absolute high-end audio, but then, would you really use Bluetooth and not a cable? Yeah, so in summary, New King, the only knock I can think of is that the 3.5mm jack can't be used passive. Other than that, great job, B&O.